the music behind the K5LA Train Horn. So, as intended, the K5LA is supposed to sound a D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, B, and D sharp octave, which happen to be all the keys that have pink paint on them. And I'll show you what that sounds like. Sounds pretty nice. The horn that this was derived from, the K5L, has two different notes. The third and the fourth note were both different, and they would have been this. Instead of here, it would have been this. Instead of this, it would have been the C. All together, it sounds like this. A little bit of a difference there. You go from a minor to a major. So over the years, a lot of people say that, the K5LA has changed. The horn's not the same. There's differences. It's out of tune, yada, yada. So some of that, yes, is true. But why and what makes one sound better than another, I've found has a lot to do with the relative tuning of what's going on with all these notes. And if they're all a little bit sharp or all a little bit flat, you can't really tell the difference, especially when it's on a train moving because of Doppler and other factors. But here's an interesting study. If you leave your octaves alone, and an octave is just the same note, but an octave higher. So I'll show you what that sounds like. When they're together, they should sound as one perfect note in unison. If they're a little bit off, you'll get that warbling or beating sound where it's wah, 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 wah. Usually those have been pretty good over the years. Where you find a lot of variation is usually within the number 2, 3, and 4. So if these three in the middle are sharper or higher in hertz, you move up the scale. So you go from here to here, here to here, and there to there. I'll show you what that sounds like. Not bad. Here's the difference. That's not terrible. If we went the other way and went flat, though, with everything besides the octaves, it's not as nice. It sounds a little weird and not nearly as good. And to the same effect, if you had left any of these other ones the same and changed it, some of it makes a good sound, some of it doesn't. So, for instance, if you were to change just the number 4 or the number 3, sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. So let's listen to this one. We'll change the number 4 and make that sharper and leave the rest alone, and that should sound decent. But if you went flat, that's ugly. Let's try another combo. What if we just go sharp with the 3? Again, that would sound or should sound good versus if we went flat. That's going flat. That's not good. That is really ugly, and you have beating going on between these two notes. That's a very disgusting sound. All right, so we've taken a look at some of these different possibilities and some of the variations that have happened over the years. And usually, if you go sharper with the 2, 3, 5, you'll be in the green zone. You'll be all right. If you go flat, not so much, especially with the 3 and the 4. That is pretty decent. Though, again, everything is relative. If you start messing with the other stuff and you're not moving either up or down relative to the others by enough, you're starting to get into different notes like we were showing. This is called a semitone, going from a black key to the next one in the order on the keyboard, then to a white to a black. And of course, a full semitone is a lot. It's an exaggeration. I've never seen a K-bell that's off by that much. But that's as good as I can do on this instrument to show you the differences and to show an exaggerated difference. Now, when people say that a particular generation of K5LA sounds better than another, my theory is that the calibration in that time period was just so that the relative tuning of each of the bells was that of one being more favorable to the ear, more pleasant. And versus if there's something that someone doesn't prefer as much, is because it may be some of these other combinations that didn't sound as well were starting to be approached. But I'd appreciate your thoughts and comments on this. And if you enjoyed this video, and I could always do one on the P horns. There was a lot of variations, both on purpose and some by accident, that caused very large differences in tunings, which provides for a lot of combinations over the years to be assembled into different musical chords. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.